What's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to everybody in the den this evening. Give me 1 second. I'm getting some little couple things here in order. We're going to be ready to go all the way live. But again, if you're not familiar with the den is a place for us to engage in open and honest conversation. You know, whatever's on your mind, opinions uncensored. And I have a gentleman we haven't seen in a while. I know, a fan favorite. We hadn't seen a gentleman in a while, and well, first let me make sure I got the right audio situation on here. I think that we should be good. We hadn't seen it in a while, and no, that ain't it. Okay, hold on. Why the audio tripping on me? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. You know, players fuck up. Let me see what is happening. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we... Man, why is the sound acting all kinds of dysfunctional on me today? Let me see what we got going on. Hold on. We got a baby. I don't know. It ain't no different than... sound like I'm giving a haircut or something over here. Give me 1 second. Why are we tripping? Let me see. Let's see if this helps here. Let me know how that sounds to y'all if y'all still hearing that thing, but it shouldn't. I don't think we should be good. But who we have joining us this evening? For those who may not know, who haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I know y'all haven't seen me in a while in the den, but this is your boy, man. I'm back again. I'd like to give a little shout out to my boy Honcho, see if he was available today.
Yes, sir.
But before we continue though, for those who do celebrate the holiday, I want to say Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Already. And again, yeah, if you have a good one, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, if y'all are into celebrating the seasons, you know, and some of y'all, like I see feeling that we was talking about it. We had a very interesting conversation last night, but we'll get into that later on because I kind of want to get man up's thoughts on some of those things. But tonight we're going to mainly focus on talking about the social impact of
Uh-oh.
social media. And so,
Uh-oh.
I think there's a lot of angles in which we can look at it. We can talk about the good, the bad. I think a lot of people immediately, think of the negative impact because there's a lot of that's happening when it comes to discussing social media because you think about people getting caught up in the phones, people we talk about, they don't talk anymore, when they go on dates or whatever else it may be, people just so caught up in their phone or, kids don't socialize anymore. But I also want to talk about, that there are some, that there are some good aspects of social media. So I want to make sure, we're going to have a well-rounded conversation. And then after we get our thoughts out, then we will open up the sauce line and
No, the deadline.
the deadline. Yeah, look at me. See, I'll be getting them mixed up. I ain't been on the sauce today. I'm calling it the sauce line. I appreciate that. The deadline, and pardon me, like I said, I'm cleaning some stuff up in the background. But we'll open up the den line and get your thoughts on, on the topic at hand. So, but before we get into all that, I want to see which friends of the den are joining us this evening. Then we're going to get into this conversation. I see Mr. Rabbit. I see Man Up holding down the chat and holding down the stream. Jaja Air, what's the motherfucking deal? Vici Online, what's the motherfucking deal? T-Child, always good to see you. DeMarcus Johnson, good to see you. Okay. That's all we got with us tonight. Okay. Well, then we're gonna get into it, and we ain't gonna hold y'all up. But speaking about social media, we, like I said, it's easy to immediately think of all the bad, and so I kind of want to start with the good of social media before we get into some of the more negative impacts. Because you always hear this and that, and social media beefs and fights, and people using it for all kind of other negative things. But let's talk about the good aspects of social media. People have used social media to help find lost children, lost items, and, help report the news. People use social media to actually network, not just to hate and like and look at pictures, but to network, social media sites like LinkedIn and things like that to, find jobs or, recommend, information. And I remember when Facebook started, it used to be a way before it became what it is now. I remember you used to have a college email, and it started out only certain colleges had it. And it was actually for helping people interact with other students to, make sure if they had that student in their class, it would connect kids who had the same teachers or classes or whatever. So in case you missed something, it was actually used for good. Then it became this other entity. I don't want to know your opinion, Mr. Man. What is one of the best uses or any positive uses that you can think of or that you've heard social media being used for to benefit someone?
Well, I will say this here, like you just said, social media nowadays is all over the place. But it is a good thing that people do use it, to start careers, start businesses, keep up with family and friends. I know some people that use it that was once in the Army, learned how to use the social media to keep up with some of their Army buddies, what I'm saying? Things like that. Use it to keep up with some classmates 20, 30 years ago. Like you said, to find their siblings and parents or whatnot. It was used for good, what I'm saying? And that was always a good thing. People still use it for good today too. I'm not going to get into the bad yet. I know it sounds like that, but I'm not going to get into the bad yet. We get into that a little bit later. But yeah, social media these days, like I said, there are some bad, but social media, excuse me, like I said, was built for those particular reasons. And I think it is still being used for those particular reasons, far in between, maybe so. But then you'll see some people, they'll say they need to find a job. So they'll get on Facebook because a lot of jobs are hiring on Facebook. A lot of jobs are hiring on, what's that, LinkedIn? However you say that. Yeah. Some are hiring on Indeed. Some on Monster, those are types of social media, And like I said, what's that comedian Lil Rel? There we go. He was in the movie uh, Get Out, uh, and that's what got his career going. Now he has his own TV show. He was doing comedy on there on Facebook, and I forgot the other one he said he was doing it on, and that's what basically got his career going. So there are a lot of good aspects on it. Some people use it to try to find out when their favorite video game is going to come out. Some people use it to, uh, for all kind of, good things, to try to see how they can give back to their communities, things like that. Try to see how there's someone that says they're in need of maybe some Christmas gifts or whatever. There's still some good use of social media, and you see those a lot, and it does bring, it does warm your heart a little bit. I know at least for me it does when you see those things. So, and for those reasons, I think they should always keep going.
Yeah. Okay. And like I say, and I can agree, and like I said, there's lots of different reasons and for people to use it. Again, if you have a particular intention, I can see, where social media can be of a benefit. Some people use social media for dating, and I'm not saying that's always the best way to do it, but it may be more convenient for a person who's busy, a person who may not have the ability to get out and about. They're still trying to find some type of interest. Some people use social media for just fucking. They ain't really trying to date nothing. They just trying to use it to one site that may be intended for one particular reason, but they gonna try to use it because they see women there or individuals, and then you have people who are just, like I say, different reasons. Again, but there can be pluses and there can be minuses. And I've seen a lot of people, like you mentioned, the Lil Rel guy. Who's the other dude, Ryan Davis, and I've seen a couple other guys, and they've used social media to build up their following and make themselves relevant. And they may have started small, and these may be guys who you would have never heard of because Hollywood may not have liked their look or whatever else it may have been. But if you come into it with a strategy, with an intention, it can be used for good. But a lot of times, and this is what I think that the overwhelming majority of it is, there are a lot of negatives that come with it. And I think that the reason why is because, and it's not just because of social media. I think most people don't have deliberate intentions in their life. And so that's why they will, they just kind of go aimlessly. See, Shaolin, fantastic. What's the motherfucking deal? Bruh Lee, what's the motherfucking deal? Oh, there's Phoenix. 335. I see. Yeah, we upgraded the TV, man. It went from the grandma's den TV to the big screen. But you know what I'm saying? But like I say now, but you hear so much more now when it comes to negative. Like just the other day, I heard about a celebrity crime spree that was going on. And basically the guys, all they were doing were following these celebrities on social media who lived, in the Hollywood area or Miami, wherever it was. I think it was Hollywood. And basically, when these people were saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going on tour, they look at the thing, okay, these person, they out the country, they out the city or whatever, they on tour, and these are their tour dates. They go run up in their house, and steal all their stuff. They go and take everything, or, if actors or actresses, they were on set or something like that, and they taking pictures from on set, they go run up in the house while they steal, and they were just stealing. I mean, they had stole a bunch of stuff, and I forgot, they were saying somebody got hit 2 or 3 times. Basketball players, like say musicians, celebrity, because these people, when you out there flashing and showing all your information out there like that, it's easy for people to find out where you stay at. And again, take advantage of you, especially when you flash, I got all this money, I got all this, I got all that. You set yourself up for failure. And that's a thing that's been going on a long time, because people would do that on Facebook, and people locally were robbing people. So I guess these folks just stepped their game up and just said, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it big time. Again, you see a lot of predators using social media to gain access to individuals that they normally wouldn't have access to, because a lot of these young kids see what their adult counterparts are doing, and they're emulating them. And these people who like them young or whatever, they trying to get at them. And so you see a lot of that. You see a lot of them on this. I seen this weird thing. It's this thing called TikTok. And it's a real strange. I seen like this little weirdo on there, and he looked like Uncle Fester, is who he looked like. But the way that whole little thing is set up, he was doing a bunch of weird stuff, and it would just seem blatantly strange. And so I don't know what the situation eventually happened with him, but he looked like a predator. Again, like I say, you see people posting messages of hate. You see people doing all kind of stuff. You see a lot of now. You've seen a lot of people using it to promote, sex work and all this other shit, where it may be illegal. So prostitutes are using it instead of hitting the track, they hitting the Twitter. All kind of negative stuff. Like, it can be great to get information, but again, and I'm not saying these people are hitting it with a deliberate intent too. So their deliberate intent might not be good, but again, so just as good as social media can be, there's a lot of negative for it. And so I want to kind of know your opinion. Is it social media itself that makes it negative, or is it just already the intent of these types of people that they did the negative, the bad is already inside of them, and they're just finding another platform to elevate that negativity? Or do you think that social media causes that to happen to them?
I don't think you can't really blame someone else or something else for what someone is doing. Because like you said, Facebook was created for mostly college people, things like that. But then you got some people on Facebook that started to go on Facebook and start posting some crazy nonsense. People having sex, people, doing crazy nonsense. You had some people that when Facebook Live was created, some people that would post live events of them going around killing and robbing. And it's like, you can't really, like I said, you can't blame Facebook for that. You can blame the people for what they're doing with this platform. Like that one, I forgot which one it was, with the owner or the creator of it was considered to be a pimp, and he was creating something. Backpage, yeah, when them girls was created them a profile to go have sex. And I'm like, people use Backpage for other things as well too. So, but you can't, and I just didn't see that was the right thing to do, to blame him for what other people are doing. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, the guy who created Facebook should be put in jail because they're doing the same thing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. But see, they kind of trying to put that on them though now. Like a lot of this stuff that has happened when people have found ways to exploit this stuff. I think they had him recently sitting in front of Congress and having to answer a bunch of questions and stuff about that. So that's why they kind of say they're trying to change up, how Facebook is being used and all of those things. So, it's interesting that, that they hold people accountable for other people's actions. And it's kind of a scary situation to be in if you kind of think about it, because then it makes people who may have a good idea, maybe what if that kind of intimidates them and makes them say, well, I may not want to use this idea because something negative happens. Or what if a person, who has one of these food apps, the delivery apps or whatever, and somebody uses it to rob delivery people or something, who's at fault for that? Now, and again, like I say, I think people should be held accountable for their own actions, if the intentions were stated as to what they are, and then people come in and try to use it negatively. I don't think that, the people who create this stuff should be held, accountable for that. But again,
I agree. I agree. Just like it was either Grubhub or the other one, DoorDash, one of the two, where people was ordering their food through those apps or whatever, and the driver was going to pick up their food, and he would eat some of it. You can't blame. I forgot which one it was, but you can't blame them for what that person is doing. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. Now, if someone created an app just for these negativity things, okay, that's a difference. But these apps was not created for these things. So how can you say, okay, for example, if I was decided I want to design kitchen knives, and here I am, and I'm designing kitchen knives and I'm selling them, at Walmart or wherever, and then people just want to grab my particular knife and start stabbing people and stuff like that. You can't come blaming me because they did whatever with my knife, and I didn't tell them to go do it. I just had kitchen knives for you to cook in the kitchen and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hate that people are just trying to find ways to blame somebody else for what they done. But so when it comes to these social media, because like I said, Facebook is not created for that, but that's what people do on Facebook, and that's one thing that I think people need to stop doing as well too. Because, like you said, with these celebrities, they posting online. Oh, I'm finna go on tour. I'm gonna be gone for 2 months. Because I remember when social media first came out, it was follow me on Facebook, like me on Twitter. No, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. There we go. Yeah. And I remember when Twitter first came out, I'll never forget I hearing this story. There was this one guy, he was chilling in his backyard. And he would always say, I'm chilling in my backyard drinking some tea. So people would walk in his front door and rob him. Yeah. And he's in his backyard.
Yeah.
And he put two and two together. Well, you just told people you're in your backyard chilling. Mm-hmm. You took a nap in your backyard, so they know they can walk in your front house. Your front door, and do these things.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like it don't make no sense to me. So. We're using social media. We might be cracking jokes, might be having a good time, might be doing some illegal stuff. I don't know. But then also, too, this is kind of a negative/positive thing. I think a lot of times social media be used for crime stoppers, or, your local police department to catch some criminals. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It don't make any sense. You can't blame you. Yeah. So I just think when it comes to the negative stuff on here, I think the blame should be placed appropriately where it goes. Don't try to let the one who actually did it get away scot-free.
Yeah, and that's interesting because. That we mentioned that, a cavity mentioned that if a bartender serves a person, what is that dram shop law or something like that, if a bartender gives a person too much alcohol. But then again, like I think that's just a slightly different situation because with a platform you can overindulge in social media, I guess, but it doesn't inebriate you. It doesn't, ultimately you have the choice to do or not to do, as opposed to alcohol. But even then, I still think that the dram shop is bullshit because if a person want to keep ordering alcohol and do what they're doing to themselves, that's on them. You don't know that one shot may have them all fucked up. That 10th shot may have had them all fucked up. There's some motherfuckers who can take, who can really get it in, So, it's just, that's a difficult one. But again, like I say, I agree, as far as being irresponsible. But that's going to bring me to another point in the conversation that makes me think, man, I wonder how you would do. Is it because people are so hungry for attention? Do you think that's part of the problem? Because they're putting themselves out there, especially for some of the smallest things, the most unnecessary ways. That are they so hungry for attention that they're really putting themselves in danger? Is that what you feel is the cause of a lot of this?
It could be, and how can I put that? Yeah, it can be for the most part because these so-called Instagram models. There was no such thing as Instagram model back in the day. You had to really, create a portfolio, really go out there, put the work in. Now you can just grab your phone, snap some pictures, and post it, and you're an Instagram model. I still can't come to terms with that, but whatever. And to me, it's like people are starving for attention a little bit, just a little bit too much here. And they can't take they can't take the negativity of it. You know what I'm saying? They got to say, if you say, for example, a lot of people want to say Black China, Amber Rose, and a few other people were Instagram models. I'm like, nah, these were strippers and straight porn stars. No, forget all that. You know what I'm saying? They try to, flip the script a little bit. No, I say it like this here. You don't need all this attention because once you start to get that attention, when you put yourself out there, a lot of people don't end up liking the negativity that come with it and feel like they got to say something to them. Well, when you put yourself out there like that, not everything's going to be positive. Not everybody's going to like what you do. So you got to be aware of these things. And this is, and to me, that is just the unnecessary part of it. You know, if you want to, like I said before, so you can use that to start your modeling career if that's what you want to do. But it's just how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to be modeling the wrong kind of which way, and then get mad when someone says something, and it doesn't work that way. If you put yourself out there in the public eye, the public is going to have an opinion, and that's just what it is. And I just think that people do go too far with it at times. But then, like I said, you do have those that go the right necessary steps and don't try to go all out there all which ways with it and really try to have a successful career.
Okay. And like I say, yeah, and you're right, you know, but the funny thing is, I guess we, you know, it comes back down again to intentions and then the character of the person involved and all of these things. Because like you say, you know, take the IG models, like I see what Brother was saying, you know, IG models are more free to do their own thing, basically create their own business. And this is true because you have these agencies and things like that. Maybe you feel like, hey, I don't want them taking a cut out of, you know, whatever it is. But then, you know, a lot of the times they handle a lot of the business and probably actually get you paid a little bit more than you may if you don't know your own worth. But I'm sure they're not hooking you up with the NBA players and the NFL players and all that other stuff too. So I guess maybe that's the benefit of being independent. But anyway, you know, my thing is, again, and I agree with the freedom and I agree with the fact that social media enables a lot of people to generate their own businesses, and not just in the modeling sense, but again, people have created business off helping people get Instagram famous or social media famous, or people sell their products or whatever it may be, you know, get growth. And it's good for businesses who have already been established, you know, brick and mortar businesses. A lot of brick and mortar businesses have actually shut down, gone more to the social media platforms and been able to do better with less overhead. So my thing is, I can understand, you know, the positives of it, but ultimately, again, like you see some of these people that, like I say, a lot of, let's be honest, the overwhelming majority of Instagram models ain't modeling shit, but some dirty rooms and some underwear. And so, you know, they just trying to put themselves out there hoping that, you know, somebody who's thirsty enough, and they trust me, they out there, it's just niggas that's thirsty enough or willing to, you know, trick off something on them or whatever it is, because that's what a lot of this shit is. You know, they're either sending them to they X-rated site or, you know, hey, pay me, booking info, if y'all know what that means, you know, whatever they call that. Those type of things. So again, it's like a lot of suspect activity going on. But again, hey, if it works for you, if that's the type of person you want to be, then fine and dandy. But I think what it does though is when you see people see that, you know, it starts encouraging other people to do it. But then you wonder, is it encouraging other people to do it, or were they already doing it and just found a better way to promote themselves? Because it seemed like the Instagram model thing came just like out of nowhere. But again, I was never on Instagram super heavy until maybe recently. And that's more so, you know, for soft sports, for trying to promote the den and things like that. Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? You know, and so again, like I say, you know, it's just it's an interesting concept, and you wonder, is it, again, like I say, is it just an ability for people to amplify how they already feel to a bigger platform, or people feel? Then another aspect of social media that I find that kills me. And I see it all the time. It kills me, especially in the sauce. Motherfuckers who talk a bunch of shit on fucking social media. They would never ever say these things to any soul in their life. These motherfuckers who probably get bullied at school, and maybe that's a way for them to vent or feel like they doing something. Or you have these people who like to see people get riled up because they're mad inside or whatever else it may be. And that's why I say it's really difficult to catch me in that element. And that's why I say, because I understand how these people operate, so I don't really let that shit get to me. But it just kills me because it's like, how do you have the audacity? Like, how do you even live with yourself knowing that you just saying a bunch of shit online that you would never say to another man's face or another person's face, period, or whoever it may be. It'd be females. But what I find the most interesting is when that shit ends up catching up with people, you know. And that shit is quite funny, because then, you know, oh, it was just the internet, or I was just, you know, no, the internet is not a buffer. It doesn't mean just because you said it on the internet. I mean, you gotta take it just like you said it to a person in the face. Because I was talking about some Texans fans the other day, It was a couple of Texans players. I guess, they use social media. They're human beings too. And they were, I guess, reading some comments, or they were elsewhere. Texans fans were tweeting at them, putting their name in some shit and on the ground talking shit or whatever. And, they made some comments, and then people got all upset about it. Because, these motherfuckers talking shit, and then when they say something back, that ain't right, or they're not professional, or whatever. Hey, look, man, you asking people to be professional in a sport where motherfuckers professionally bang their heads up against each other all game long. What profession do you really want? It's not like these motherfuckers are out there fucking building skyscrapers and lawyers and doctors and shit. I'm not knocking it. They get paid a lot of money to be athletic and do dangerous things, and you want them to be professional. What you want them, it kills me. But if they do this for a living, what makes you think they ain't gonna, bang on you too because you talking crazy? Like, and that's what kills me about this shit. You love it when it's somebody else, but then, because I know Marcus Peters, he stepped up in the stands on somebody the other day, and that dude said, "Don't touch me, don't." You talked all that shit. And then you flip the fucking script like a fucking bitch. Like, I can't stand that kind of thing. Like, people think that just because there's this buffer, like you're allowed to talk to somebody any kind of way. Like I said, you go to anybody face to face and say these things on their job and see what happened to you. But again, like, I guess it's just because you see these people on TV so much, and I don't know what the energy levels are. But people do this on the internet all the time. And so my thing is just like, how do you walk around knowing that you ain't with none of that shit you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But you steadily bumping your gun, you steadily saying this shit because you feel big and bad. But then when a motherfucker walk past your car door, now you, let me lock this door, or you one of them type of people who really afraid of everything moving, and I don't know, maybe it's a way for people to feel like they can live out something, that be that tough image they always wanted to be, or something like that. I don't know. I don't understand. I can't comprehend it, but that's definitely a very toxic situation, because you have those people who talk a lot of shit and then, hide their hand. Was it throw bricks and hide their hand? I can't stand that shit. And I agree with you too. And I think that the entitled people even more entitled. Yeah, we talk about the SJW culture, and I'm not saying that things that are not right in life, yes, they should be addressed and should be corrected. I'm not saying that everybody should just stomp on everybody, piss on everybody. No, there's certain issues in life that need to be addressed and talked about. But it's what some of these people go out and these issues that they find that are really non-factors. You have to be extremely bored in your life, but the internet allows these type of like-minded people to get together and start spreading these bullshit ass messages, and people start buying into it. And I think a lot of it confuses other people who may already be in a confused space, and they start gravitating towards something that's not really real, and they start believing that this has substance to it when it really doesn't. But I find some issues with those kind of things, man. That bothers me, the shit talkers on the social media. And then again, like I said, when you catch the motherfuckers slipping, you catch them in the street or whatever it is. Hey, what's all that shit you was talking the other day? Oh man, I was just, and they can't even speak straight, but they had plenty to say, when they was texting and typing and tweeting and all that other shit. So, that's another thing. They just created this generation of soft motherfuckers who think it's okay just to talk shit. And then, back you say, man, it looked like you used to manage SWV back in the days. I ain't heard SWV in so long. Hey,
don't be jealous, Jay Dizzle. Don't be jealous.
Where are they now? That's what we need to see. I seen the thing where are they now with what's the name, Jaquan. That nigga was 14 or 15 in the club talking about he tipsy. They had a hit song and it fell all the way off. But it'd be like that sometime. But what are your thoughts on that? Like the people who use it, who talk a lot of shit on social media, or the people who feel like it's okay because you have access to celebrities and people like that. So they talk shit to other people they may know, but then you don't ever see them, or they talk shit to these celebrities. Like, how do you feel about that? What do you think creates that mentality that allows people to feel like they can just go and do stuff like that?
I feel that what it is that people know, 9 times out of 10 know they can do it and get away with it. There's no repercussion for what they say or do. And that's all I believe, my heart of hearts, that's what I believe it is. That they could say whatever they want and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Mainly that's why they go after these athletes. And I even seen it where they go after boxers in particular, because they know if a boxer touched them, the boxer is potentially life in jail, because their hands are registered as lethal weapons. They know these things, and they know if they touch a celebrity, a movie star, actor, singer, whatever, they know, I can sue them for millions and millions. You know what I'm saying? And they know that these celebrities, and 9 out of 10 ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they know it's just gonna be a thing on Facebook or a thing on Twitter or wherever it is, or wherever they having these little squabbles at, and that's just mind-boggling to me. And it's also mind-boggling to me that, like you said, excuse me, some people will come back at you and say, what was all that you were talking? And I've seen people be like, oh man, I was just a little upset because I had a long day and I was just getting my frustration. I was like, dang, what you were saying before.
Yeah.
I always say this too when I be seeing people that commit these crimes. I always tell my wife this. I say, why don't they just when they on the internet, you got something to say, why don't you leave your name, your phone number, your address, so y'all can talk it out. But people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it's like I was born this way. My uncles told me, if you got something to say it to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't relay the message to someone else. Back then, they didn't have social media, but nowadays, don't go on social media, anything like that. Go straight to that person. Tell them how you feel. One, a person will respect you a lot more. Even they might not like you, but they will respect you a lot more as a human being for doing something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go on social media and do it, to me, that's just a bitch move to me. That's a hoe move to me.
Yeah. Because
I wasn't raised that way, and I'm definitely not trying to raise my kids that way. If you got something to say, go tell that person what's up. You know what I'm saying? And in today's society too, even with like I was feeling because you brought up Twitter, and for some reason when you said Twitter, they made me think about our damn president.
Yeah.
He lives on Twitter. Every time I watch the news, President Trump, well, he tweeted out this and that. I'm like, dude, you got more shit to do than worry about the goddamn internet, about social media.
Man,
and that's another.
I got a question for you on that. So do you think that it works both ways with the president? Do you think not only is he spending time just tweeting out, but do you think that he's receiving or he's searching through Twitter and maybe that's where he's getting certain information about certain things? Do you think that has an impact on some of his judgment?
It could. I'm not saying it doesn't. But what I think is this here. My personal opinion, if you run in this country, you don't really have time to be on Twitter. You need to be worried about what's going on and try to, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do your job. I don't know exactly what it entails in being the president, but you need to, do your job and, go that. Like, even for example, there's been a few times I'll go on YouTube when I'm, ain't got nothing to do, sitting there watching a few videos. I might leave a couple of comments and I might say something. I don't know, depending on what the video is about. I might say something like, wow, that was crazy. That was stupid. Why would they do something like that? And somebody would come in, you dumb fuck, I can do what I want to do. I'm like, okay, I'm giving my personal opinion. And I'm like, I just say, you know what? That just tells me right there that your mindset is all the way left. Because one, if you put your business out there, somebody's going to have something to say. Yeah. Just like you have something to say. You know what I'm saying? If you saw me put my business out there. So you can't get mad at me for having a comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, that one lady that we talked about before that put her baby over her head to protect her weed. I love a comment on that video because I thought that was just the most fucked up thing I ever saw in my life. And somebody wrote on there, she was just trying to protect her hair because men like some shit like that. They were saying
they always validate with that nonsense.
And all I said back was seriously, and they just went off. I'm like, seriously, there's no way that you can justify that. But kind of get on top a little bit. But I was like, when you putting yourself out there, you gotta expect the comeback on it. And with the president, it could go both ways because the days we live in now is a social media world, so it could go both ways. I just personally think that he needs to leave social media alone. He needs to, because he's older. He should know that if you got something to say, then tweet it out. Call that person on the phone because you might not be able to see him on in person because who he, his job, what his job is. Call him on the phone. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Blah blah blah. Because that's how I was raised. So
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's easier to. I think a lot of it comes to doing. I think a lot of it is kind of get that momentum, get that crowd behind you on some of these things. It's not about even just getting the facts and hashing it out. It's about swaying public opinion about stuff because nowadays people believe shit so easily, people follow behind shit so easily that they fail to want to think for themselves. Oh well, this person, I like this person, even though what they're doing is completely wrong, but but they said it, so I'm gonna agree with it, just because. And that's why I say, as far as like with political parties and things like that, why I don't necessarily get behind any one of them. I mean, like I say, I have views from both sides that I can understand and agree with, but at the same time, I'm not with this. Well, I'm a conservative, so I'm gonna do everything that conservatives say is right, and it's always gonna be no. Because I mean, you motherfuckers find themselves supporting some dumb shit sometimes, just because they want to be aligned with a party. I'm not aligned with nothing. I'm aligned with myself, and I'm gonna I'm gonna go with what I think is right or what I think makes sense, but obviously, most people don't think like most people. Again, we have this herd mentality, and people they want to feel like they're a part of something, even if the shit that they're a part of doesn't make any fucking sense. They just have to be a part of something. And again, they'll make negative choices that don't even benefit themselves just to feel like they're a part of whatever the conversation or situation is. So, like I say, it's crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, I agree. Me personally, this might ruffle some feathers, but me personally, I don't vote. Because the number one thing is this here. Uh, I've seen a lot of people, they have their opinions, and that's fine. I'm not trying to tell them about what to do or what not to do. But the reason why I don't, because I look at it as a pimping game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are going to say whatever they want to say to get what they want. Just like, a pimp does. That's just how I look at it. And some people say, you should vote, your ancestors fought for the right to vote, blah, blah, blah. And that's true, and I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it's wrong or nothing like that. It's just that they fought for me to have that choice. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I have that choice to do something or not to do something. And it's my choice not to.
Exactly. Again, and that's that's because Google is liberal. Yeah, Google is definitely super liberal, and that can be a problem too. But again, and that's what it comes down to, ultimately choice. And I think that people get too caught up. We talked about attention earlier, and I think a lot of it does too. I'm gonna put this out there because I've known some people. And man, I wish I wish Baker man was here. I could tell y'all some interesting stories. But I've known people who go out there and they put this internet beef out there. They let motherfuckers gas them up, and it was a particular situation where this person they were beefing with. They talked all this shit about the person, but they blocked the person on the internet, so hopefully they wouldn't see it. They talked all this shit, but they blocked them, so that person wouldn't have access to knowing, that they're getting talked about. So somebody, mutual friend, goes and I guess screenshots it or sends it to the person or lets the person get on their account or whatever, and they see it. And so the person get to commenting and saying, why are you running over here saying all this, that, and the third? And so the person who originally posted getting mad, oh, see y'all screenshotting and doing all this. But if you wanted the person to see it, why ain't you just go take it to them? Why ain't you, why would you put it out there if you ain't want nobody to see? Like, what did you expect was going to, don't get mad at the people. Don't divert the conversation. You the one that started this shit. You need to go either handle up or whatever. And then so a whole situation took place, and like I say, but again, that's why I say social media will pump your head up. A whole situation took place. I'm not going to get into the details of the situation, but, things came and went. And then the person going to go and post pictures of after the person left, because that person came to confront them about that whole situation. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on. That person was dead set on handling that problem after you done talked about them and put them out there like that. But the other person was steadily going back to social media. See, look, they said they was coming. They ain't here. Like literally waited an hour or two. That person was waiting outside their house and doing all this other stuff, and was trying to talk about, oh, well, come kick my dough in and do all this. Yeah, so you could legally blast their ass, and then you got some justification. Like, come on now, you talked all this shit about this person, but you ain't want to step outside and see them and and all this stuff. And like I said, this person used to be a friend of mine. I mean, like I said, this person I ain't talked to in a while, and they all right. But I mean, it's just, yeah, I tell them, you handle that in a completely inappropriate way. Like, if you did all that stuff, you got to own up to all that stuff. You know what I mean? You can't just be out there trying to air people out and then not expect there to be repercussions. And then you letting all these people on social media gas you up. Yeah, go do this and go do that. And then after that person came to confront you, you sit there and wait and then talk about, oh, ain't nobody here. Because you waited literally, you watching out to see if they going to leave. And as soon as they left, then you go, like, you got to stop there. Because the person, if I'm not mistaken, the person came back to, came back to see what it was. And then they going to say, and then you back hiding in the house or whatever else it is. And to me, the thing about that is, you have to feel something inside you. Slow. That's what they say. That saying comes from. A coward dies 1,000 times, a soldier dies but once. Something inside you dies. It has to. Like, it just has to be something inside you that crumbles a bit. When you talk all that shit and the motherfucker come to confront and you do nothing and you just fold up. Like, that's not a situation you want to put yourself in too often. And you would have thought that person would have learned a lesson from that situation, but obviously, they did not. They carried on with the carry on because it's more incidents happen. And again, that social media allows people to filter their life and they sell their life as this one thing to people, when in reality, if you know this person, it's nothing like that, And so, again, it's a sad thing what social media does. It just allows people to create these falsities about themselves. And then the bad part about it, I think they do it for so long that they start believing themselves that, the bullshit that they have because of people putting it out there. Oh man, I hate that shit, Jay. I hate that shit so much, Jay. You don't understand. That make me want to go punch a bitch. Goddamn. I can't stand it. Well, come on, let's square up then, nigga. Goddamn, since you a father, goddamn. I hate that shit. I'm the mother and the father. No, you're a bad decision maker. That's what the fuck that is. You know what I mean? Like, the only ones who say that are the bad decision makers. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a woman who had a situation or whatever, it is. And it's funny because the same person I'm talking about said that same shit. But so you look, it all goes hand in hand. But you can't be the father. You may raise the child because you have no other choice, but you can't teach your boy to be a man. Trust me, there was some father figure along the way that, did something that he looked up to. You might have thought because you were raised him or whatever that you were that, but it's not that. But ultimately, the ones that posted, I'm the mother and the father, I hate that shit. You talking about you the mama and the daddy, but your son about the softest thing this side of a roll of Charmin. And, you taught him to be a man. You taught him to be something. But, it is what it is. My thing is, I just give credit where credit is due, man. Like, you gotta, you can't do everything. You be a mother. You teach him, certain things that you can teach him, but you gotta put him in a You gotta put him in a position again to have a legitimate mentor. You gotta be careful nowadays, even with that. But you gotta put him in a position to where, look, hey, there's only so much I can teach you as a woman. There's certain things that you have to learn from a man and you have to gain him, certain skill sets that you have to obtain. And, and not trust me now there's some rough women out there nowadays. Some of them borderline and some of them on the brink. And some of them, there might be 2 or 3 of them out there that can say that. But the overwhelming majority, of women cannot say that. And that's what kills me. You got to have some type of father figure. It may be a coach. It may be a something that instills that, but it is not, it's not always the mom, like I say, because there's one thing I'll tell you, and I think most dudes, I've had this conversation before, like even when your pops is not in the picture, even if your mama talk all that shit, because I'm going to say somebody called it, we had a similar conversation about that, there's still always that, as a young man, you're always going to want to know who your pops was, his mentality, what did he contribute to molding you to being the way that you are, and why and how, just things that you always want to know that your mom cannot teach you. And I think that a lot of women underestimate that. They mad about the bad decisions that that was Lamar Jackson mama. Lamar Jackson mama, I give her due. But the thing was, his pops was in the picture before and he died. So I don't put her in the same category as a lot of these others who just popping out, baby daddy's still around, but she didn't hop from this bed to that bed to this bed to that bed and got 3 or 4 of them. And then she talking about, all these niggas ain't shit. But baby, you ain't shit because you somehow be able to consistently pick the same type of ain't shit ass niggas. What is that saying about either you just got the worst odds in the world or you're a bad
Yeah.
decision maker, you know, and a lot of women don't want to take the blame for that. Yeah, look, here's what I'm telling you. LeBron James, mama, you know who that nigga. Well, ain't too many niggas out there looking like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Or else you just been gangbanging basketball teams like since day one. Because how you just not find some 6'8", 6? He had to be within the range of because I don't think she that tall. So even for a woman, so he had to be within the range of 6'6" to 6'9" somewhere, you know, to pass on them genetics. So you telling me you out there, there ain't a whole lot of them niggas out there like that. So you had to be familiar with the locker rooms or something for whoever the local teams were to be just doing some shit like that. Come on, man. Like, how many niggas that tall you just fucking with? But it is what it is. So my thing is, and again, you know, but that sometimes that type of shit motivates, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that motivates the young men to be better. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you talking about old buddy? Oh, you talking about when Delonte? Oh, come on, yeah, she was out of there. Which would fuck with Delonte West. But what you got there?
I want you to look up something since you brought up them moms and you know, trying to be the dads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look something up. I want everybody to watch that's watching the video, will watch it, whatever. I want y'all to look something up. Look up the women that's trying to ban Father's Day and read their stories.
Oh my God. And that's what I'm saying. Hey, hello Heidi, how you doing?
So that's one of the craziest things ever. I saw that and I was like, and they walk around outside with signs talking about ban Father's Day, God, men don't need no special holiday, some crap like that.
Yeah. And
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you know, that can go both ways. You know that, right? You know, so
because if you really think about it, women get all the special treatment shit. You know, open the doors for the ladies. Ain't nobody opening the door for no man. You know, do this, do these nice things. You know, be a gentleman. You know, pay for this, do all this other stuff. That's not the commonplace protocol for men. You know what I'm saying? But for women, you know, they get mad because they get all these other favors, then they want the benefits of the perceived benefits of being a man too. But you know, it is what it is. But I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No, they don't want that. But no, yeah, you cool. They don't want those, what it's like to be a man. Trust me, they don't want that stuff. They be happy you're a woman. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, yeah, because I saw that story and I was like, man, I want y'all to read that. I want y'all to get your own opinion of it. But I saw that story and I was like, everything that they were saying that men do, I'm not denying that a lot of men do this crazy nonsense. They were saying how they'll just have babies here and there, how they can just up and leave a woman with the child and all that stuff, leave a woman dead, broken, homeless with the. I'm like, don't y'all realize women do the same things, basically? You know, it goes both ways, and I hate people that do that. They only like to see one side, but do not like to see the other. Do not like to realize that. Yeah. I'm admitting, yes, men do that. Yeah. I mean, I've seen guys that do it, and I got pissed off at a lot of men that I've known that done that crap. But I also seen women do that. And it's like, you know, it's like, it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. So I just look at it like this here. When you're coming out saying, you the mother and the father, trust me, that's a man out there that's saying that same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a single man out there saying the same thing. That left, you know, that the mom is on crack, didn't give a damn about their child, that just up and left, want to go do their own thing, want to party all the time, whatever. It goes both ways. And I just think, before you say something, think about it. Think about it. Because there ain't no men out there saying, get rid of Mother's Day. Just because a woman has a baby doesn't mean anything. Just like y'all say, just like women say, oh, he ain't nothing but a sperm donor. Well, we can say, oh, women do just give you life, and they left. See what I'm saying? I just look at it like this here, and I'm going to get off that because I don't want to ruffle too many feathers, but I just look at it like this here. If I say all women do is sit around watching bonbons, eating bonbons, watching soap operas, women can come out and say, oh, he's a lazy motherfucker. All he want to do is just drink beer and play video games. You know, it goes both ways. See what I'm saying? So, and I just want y'all to watch that video. Watch and listen to that story. I bet you, y'all gonna trip the hell out when y'all see it.
Okay. Yeah, and it's an interesting. Like, we're gonna open up the den line here in a second, because I know I went a little bit longer than expected, but I wanted to talk about this. Or actually, I'm gonna say this for a different conversation, because it's taking us away from the social media a little bit. Because look, I'm about to get fired up on a whole other topic. But but my thing is, and like you said, it goes both ways. Heidi, women aren't getting raped running errands every day. It's not happening. If that was the case, then women would never run errands. They would just not do it. So yeah, maybe in the club getting wasted, and in scenarios that get sketchy, that enhance the chance of that happening. Maybe so. I would agree with that. But as far as just going on an everyday errand, ain't nobody snatching motherfuckers up just waiting outside of Kroger. We finna get this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Waiting outside of HEB. Hoes everywhere, boy. If y'all don't know about HEB, I told y'all that's what it stands for. Hoes everywhere, boy. But, motherfuckers ain't. Look at this. Talk about HEB, hoes everywhere, boy. There goes Shaq Kush. Man, this nigga Shaq Kush that stood me up on the mixer the last 2 times. I don't even know about this nigga no more. But, my thing is, you gotta let's be more rational, because situations do happen, but they happen more likely when you're interacting with a more male-dominated area, and the consumption of alcohol and drugs and things like that take place. You see that situation happen. I don't think it is as much as everyday shit. Does shit happen? Yes, but a large majority of the stories I hear, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be fair for women to go out and enjoy themselves and do stuff like that, but at the same time, you got to understand your situation, man. I'm not going to go say, you know what, I'm going to go down to this KKK rally in the middle of the night. Everybody got their hoods on. I'm going to just go smoke me a sweet and, cha-cha slide, just knowing that I'm in a little dangerous situation. Like, hey, how's it going? Knowing that people may have bad intentions. Now, are all of them going to act on it? No, the majority are not. But if they are wanting something I got, you know what I'm saying? If they want something I got, or want to take me out for some particular reason, I'm not going to put myself in a situation. I'm not going to walk through the middle of the hood with, fucking $50,000 in a bag and let everybody know it, that I'm off my guard or some shit like that. It's just little shit that and women have to take responsibility for themselves on. Like, I understand because I think a lot of it is like, you want to be able to do all the exact same things a man does. You want to be able to be as comfortable in this world as a man. I can understand that. I can completely understand that. But the fact is, there's advantages to being a woman that men don't have, and there's advantages to being a man that women don't have, and you got to appreciate the ones you get and can't be envious of the shit you don't get. And that's just pretty much it. You know what I mean? You're not going to get to have everything. It's always grass is green on the other side. Well, men get to do this, and this. Well, women get to do this, and this. They get paternity leave and maternity leave, and they get, all this other stuff, and they get all the alimony. People are always going to complain about what the other side does. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it is. So you got to just take what you get, be smart, and then protect yourself in the best situation that you can. But here's the deal. We're going to open up the sauce line, the den line. I keep saying the sauce line. I see hot sauce, so I'm talking about the sauce line. Fresh ingredients that make the hot sauce, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna open up the den line. We're gonna take some calls, man, and then we'll probably have a. Let me see. We might have a little mixer action tonight. I know y'all been waiting on that Tomb Raider so bad, so we'll see what's up with that. But let's see what we got shaking, man. So let's see what's going on. The den line. Let me put the right ear gear in. I apologize. Let me make sure it's appropriate, so I can make sure I hear the calls. But again, man, like, it is what it is. You have to take it as it goes, man. You're not gonna get all the benefits. No one person.
And that's one thing that I was trying to explain to someone before. I'm not gonna say exactly who the person is, but that's one thing I was talking. What you were saying there. There's some benefits of being a woman that men don't have. Benefits of being a man that women don't have. And I'll go a little bit into depth in that. Let's just say I was explaining to someone, in my personal opinion, I think women have a little bit more easier in life than men. And Shaq could say we got a penis. Okay. But I was saying, okay, think about this here. I said, what woman really wants to take care of a man? But it's a man's job to take care of a woman. See what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm not saying none of that stuff. I'm just saying that's a benefit that a woman have, versus a man. And another benefit that women have that men don't. Well, typically don't. Like you brought the alimony. How many men you know out there getting child support alimony? It's very, very few. Versus a woman, just like some of these Instagram models, they can marry a man, be married to him for a month or so, break up with him, and take half of his stuff. No, damn well she don't deserve half. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff do happen. So just like for example with Janet Jackson, she did exactly what her prenup said: have a baby with the man, be married to him for 5 years, she get $500 million, and she did exactly that, and got that $500 million.
Damn, I didn't even realize all that. I didn't know she was in the Janet Jackson was in the mix too. God damn. Shame. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that. I know who was it? Fucking Mariah Carey. She was trying to squeeze that billionaire that she was supposed to be with, but he realized she was fucking crazy, and he left her ass. I think Nick Cannon unfortunately found out the hard way. That some of these motherfuckers you be looking up to, they be crazy as catchy. That's why I don't be all on that Instagram model shit. Like all that shit don't sell me. Like I say, looks they fine and dandy and they cool, but ultimately, like, can you tolerate the motherfucker's personality? And that's what is the ultimate thing. Now, now I don't want to looking like the bitch in the video I tagged Brandon in the other day. You know what I'm saying? He know what I'm talking about. But you can't have him looking like that, built like a motherfucking, looking like a lion up top. Fucking lions be swole all up in the front and the back legs be looking little and shit. It was a very bitch looked like she got a hell of a power clean, huh? But yeah, she was built very poorly. But I'm just saying, you can't be built poorly and have a shitty attitude. It is what it is. But the thing about that is, like I say, and what is this big blind spot that we have? Because ultimately, like I say, I think that women can change it because men are so desperate these days to do. Hold on, we got a call coming in. We're gonna take this call on the den line. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Oh, goddamn. Hold on. Players fucking up. Hold up. Hello. Who got called into the den this evening? What's the motherfucking deal?
Man, I got a few things I want to touch on today.
All right, what you got?
Is Ferocious in here?
Is who?
Ferocious.
No, I don't think Ferocious in here this evening.
Okay, well, I'll leave that topic alone. But while y'all talking about shit, y'all know what annoys the shit out of me? Y'all see that commercial? I think it's a GOC commercial, and the dude bought his girl like a little red SUV and bought him a gray truck.
Oh, yeah.
She bought the nigga like some bullshit cologne or some shit.
Yeah.
And she went out and started talking about, I love this one. See, that commercial annoys the shit out of me. Cause that nigga's like, I like red. Nigga, if you don't go snatch that bitch by her hair and drag out your goddamn truck and tell her to go get that motherfucking SUV.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I feel you on that commercial, too.
Like, nigga, bitch, Joe get the SUV. What do you mean, I love the truck? Nigga, are you crazy? That's me.
But see, that's how society, man, they tell the man to be like that now. They tell you to play second fiddle, to be, more submissive. That's just kind of what the role is. Like I say, the days of Archie Bunker are long gone. You can't be honest. You're supposed to, fold and submit these days.
Not on duty. You got me fucked up. She was the ass in her red SUV, or she could drive this shit. She'll drive me folk, but she can get the fuck up out of my truck. That's what she gonna do.
But what if you grab her by the hair and there's some weave though?
I don't know if he can hear me, but one.
What you were saying there, man up?
I was saying one thing about that commercial when it first came. If they show the long version, because sometimes they show a short version and a long version of the same commercial. Yeah. But if they show the long version, if they show a long version of the commercial, when it first started, she bought him a black watch and bought him a red watch and said she liked the color red.
Yeah.
But they saw the vehicles want the black vehicle and want him to take the red one.
Oh, see, I didn't even see it. Okay.
Yeah, do you see that long version of it? Because like I said, sometimes
there's a long version of the commercial where basically she bought a red watch and a black watch, and then she said she liked the red watch. But then when they go outside to get the vehicles or whatever, she ended up swapping and taking the black vehicle. Was it the black? So she ended up taking the truck.
She knew the SUV was for her. I don't know why she climbed in the ass of that big ass truck.
Well, she say, she wants the truck. Is it his duty? Is he supposed to regulate that situation? I mean,
He's supposed to say, no. If he knew what she was doing. He's like, I love this one. I love this one. He's like, I guess I like red. Nah, nigga. Nah.
God.
After this fucking SUV, we'll take it back to dealership. That's what's wrong with people in this world.
That's fucked up. What's up, man? We gonna get some PUBG action here tonight, man, or what? You tripping again?
And I'm always PUBG ready.
Man, you don't ever show up, man. I've been on the mix the last couple of times, and you ain't even show up, man.
Man, shit, I don't know why it happened. I got the Xbox.
Man, look, and here it is, man. Well, this is what we gonna do. When we get out the den this evening, I'm gonna send you the invite, man. We're gonna get some PUBG action going on, man.
All right, before I get out here, I want to say that dude Brandon dog, like little boy named Josh.
This motherfucker Shaq Kush, man. That's a bit. Appreciate the call, man. Yeah, look, Shaq Kush might be on that good, man. Look, if he is, hit that home 2 times for your boy. Shout out to Sticky Northside. What's the motherfucking deal? Rye and Kahau MC, man.
But see, that's kind of what we're talking about, how women have those kind of advantages. Because I've noticed this too, as well too. If a man want to buy himself something nice, and he's in a marriage or in a relationship period, he has to buy something nice for his woman first, which don't make no sense to me. But flip the other way around, she ain't got to buy nothing nice for him first. She can go buy herself something nice if she wants. So I'm saying, also too, I've seen other guys do this too. I personally don't play this crap. No, if I spend, let me just gonna say this here. I've seen people like for their birthdays or Father's Day or whatever certain day, for them, they'll get sex as a gift.
Oh, man.
Well, the man, if the other way around, the man have to actually put some thought into what they give their woman. And I think that is just totally unfair.
Yeah.
Totally. You know what I'm saying? Because you get sex on a regular basis all day. I ain't gonna say all day, but depending on your relationship, you get sex on a regular basis. So it's a gift.
The pussy as a present is it's definitely a double standard. You know what I'm saying? So that's rather unfortunate. Yeah, I definitely see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't really cutting it. You know what I mean? Like where can I cash this in at? You know, can I get a redeems or the rebates on this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that doesn't quite work very well. And speaking of commercials, I hate. Commercials that people hate. That, man, I hate that one fucking commercial. I think it's either a Zales commercial or a K Jewelers commercial. It's one of those where the dude is basically talking about, I want to ask you something, and it seems like you would think that he was talking to the dad or something about marrying his daughter, but it's really like some little kid, and he talking about, I want to marry your mom, and the little kid look a little suspect himself, you know what I'm saying, and look weird. And I think that's what I say, like, it's all like, you gotta understand that people are very deliberate in the things that they do. And again, you see the man that they get, he's a real kind of effeminate looking man. He's not really, not saying effeminate, but he's not really what you would say identify as a masculine type person. And the little kid looks like he could be almost either way, because the little kid look real frail, you know what I mean? And don't even say nothing, just sitting there looking weird. It could be a little girl that they cut the hair on or something, looking real suspect. And, I just want to get your permission. Look, they say, look, little nigga, I've been dating your mama for a while. we finna get married. So I hope you can adjust to that shit, my nigga. You know, you cool. I fucks with you, but if you get to tripping, I'm gonna bust your little motherfucking ass. But you know, hold on, we got a call coming in. We'll take this call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the den this evening? Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
All right. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to you and Man Up.
All right, Merry Christmas, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
And so speaking of, you know, you kind of got off topic, but I don't know if you remember. Well, I seen this commercial where this woman actually proposed to the man. I don't recall which commercial that was, but you know, I think that most commercials are getting more. They're getting towards more. They're geared more towards the female having the power. I guess the female being the alpha. So
interesting.
I understand why.
Well, when it comes to proposing, and I kind of look at it differently, because here's my thing. Here's my thing, and I may be wrong. Other people may feel differently about this, because to propose, you are the one submitting yourself to judgment. Essentially, you know, you're saying, hey, will you accept me or will you not accept me after we spent, you know, this significant amount of time with each other or whatever it may be. So I have no problem necessarily, maybe I guess with the woman proposing. I see it more. I just kind of see it the opposite of that. I don't see it as that's putting a person in a dominant position. I see that's putting a person in the position of submission, because, you know, how many times have you seen these proposal videos or whatever, and a dude basically, you know, he's nervous and he's scared. Because I mean, if you're in the dominant position, you just say, hey, look, we're finna get married. It is what it is. You're asking someone for their acceptance, and so, you know, you take a knee and he does all this. Hey, you know, will you marry me? And the bitch be like, nah, you know, or she run off, or I mean, and the motherfucker just sitting there looking stuck, you know, looking foolish, and you know, and embarrassed and things, you know what I mean? So there's no level of, I don't think there's an embarrassment aspect for the person who's getting, you know, proposed to, because they again, like I said, they command the power in that situation. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that I'm not saying that, you know, I have a problem with either one proposing. If that's what you choose to do, then you choose to do it. But I'm just saying I feel kind of the opposite. I feel like the dominant position is for the person who is saying yes or no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because usually the tradition is that the man is the one that's supposed to,
yeah,
you know, do all the work. But like some people say, like, I hear the argument that, you know, sometimes we have to break out of old habits or old traditions to get used to seeing things that we're not used to seeing, like, you know, more females being empowered. And I guess that's something that a lot of people aren't really used to seeing, because throughout history, men have always been the dominant gender. But I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Like for me, I don't see a problem with a female, you know, proposing someone. I was just stating, like, a lot of conservative people, or a lot of, I guess, religious people, you know, might be offended with that. No,
I can understand what you're saying. I get what you're coming from, because, like you say, it is the traditional aspect of, you know, the man proposing to the woman. But I think, like, the funny thing about it is, because generally it's usually the woman that wants to get married, honestly. Because you see a lot of these, especially, you know, as they get older and things like that, you see all these, a lot of stuff of even videos, you see shows, you see, like, I mean, they got all with bridezillas and all this other stuff. And it goes like, you know, this is what the woman wants. She wants all these things, but you have to be the one, again, like I say, to submit to the situation. Why can't it be like, hey, you know, choose up like a pimp get chose, you know? Look, she bring you the ring. Hey, look, man, this is what it is. Look, I'm choosing you as my pimp for life. You know what I mean? But no, I'm talking some shit. But honestly, like, you know, the woman gets most of the benefits out of the marriage because look, she get to have your name, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? She get to have your money if you get divorced, all this other stuff. But no, but in all seriousness though, like there aren't a lot of benefits for the man. But then you're the one that puts yourself out there to say, hey, you know, I want to be with you for life. I want to be, you know, your provider, your protector, you know, all these things. And then you kind of get a choice. You know, you lay it all on the table. You're either getting rejected or accepted. And so again, like for that moment in time, you're putting yourself out there in limbo, you know, and it's very, it can be ego crippling for certain gentlemen. Like I say, you know, it is what it is. But I understand what you're talking about as far as tradition and how it generally goes. So I can definitely understand that.
Yeah. I have one question for Man Up, and I'll let him answer.
Okay.
The question for Man Up is, how would you...
All right. Well, before I answer this question, I got something I want to say. It's finally, like the Rock say, finally, me and JT finally agree on something. I just had to say that.
Okay.
But to answer his question, it's like I told my son, you know, who's grown now, before social media came about. Don't ever do anything that you don't want. Don't ever do anything that you have to think more than twice about. What I basically mean by that is, if you feel in your gut or heart not to do something, don't do it. Now, of course, with my little baby, I try to watch everything that she does. You know, I have a tablet and on my PlayStation. I can watch everything. I'm monitor that. I know that was for me. Now, and I'm not trying to, you know, shelter her because I know that's not going to be a good thing for her in the long run. So, but I do try to, I talk to her a little bit about certain things. I don't go too far in depth on things because I know she's 8 years old and she don't fully understand everything that I might be saying. But I try to, you know, put it in a certain term that I think she might understand. I always tell her, come to me, come to mommy if you feel like something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Talk. I every single day. Talk to her. No, it doesn't matter what it is. You won't be in trouble. But I do tell her, I say, you will be in trouble if you don't come talk to us. Because I do tell her, your mom and your dad is your protectors. You have to let us know what's going on. I tell her that all the time. You know, and like I said, as she gets older, I start to, you know, go more and more in deep into it, try to explain a little bit more and more to her as she gets older. Right now, I try my best to keep it at a kid level. And I do find myself sometimes speaking as an adult to her. And I know sometimes, like, what, Daddy, what's that mean? And I have to back down a little bit because, you know, I'm an adult and I'm used to talking adult stuff. So, you know, it just one of those type of things to where, excuse me, to where I try to take it step by step with my little girl. Now, with my oldest son, I still talk to him and I still tell him, hey, this is, you know, what it is. He comes to me for advice all the time, even though he's grown out on his own. And I still tell him, I say, look, you know, depending on what he want to talk about, but look, this is what it is. This is what, you know, what you might want to do. I ask him how he feel about this and what he feel like his gut is telling him, things like that. And then I go from there, you know. But every situation is different, so I can spend days and days talking about that. So it all depends on the situation. But also, you know, I try to, like I said, with my little girl, I monitor everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I told y'all, she's the one her and Honcho is the one that got me doing YouTube videos, and I subscribe to her channel, so I see everything that she does. You know what I'm saying? So I keep an eye on this stuff. Me and my wife keep an eye on it. You know, so like I said, but I can't really. It's kind of hard for me to explain because it's just one of those things that every situation is different. So, and I would be going on a dozen days to explain every situation.
Okay. And shout out to Cavity Creek, because that's facts. I'll be having to argue with the old lady about that because she is from California. And I'm telling her, you know, Whataburger's where it's at. Miss me with that in and out shit. You know what I'm saying? In and out is because that's how I go through your body. You go in and come right back out. Ugh. You know, nobody want that shit. Whataburger is what a burger. I was talking about the other day when I was young. I used to think it was water, like drinking water, water. But I'm like, how the fuck you make a water burger? Like, it's kind of burger out of water. That shit sounds trash. But
when you read it, it says what a burger, but you say it fast, it sounds like you're saying water.
Mm-hmm. You know, especially when you're in the hood, you know, especially my people, they was country as hell. You gonna get some old water burger. Water burger. I don't know if I
like how
shit.
Water burger.
But yeah, man. So, but ultimately, I agree with you, man, because that's the same thing. Like I say with me and the lady Honcho, you know, when we talk to the little one, it's almost the same thing. But the thing you got to be careful about now, and this is something I think we had talked about way back in the Gap. Black folks Timmy Chin versus white folks Timmy Chin. Oh yeah, there's definitely some differences. We talked about back in the Gap is you got to watch out now because the kids at school, you know, because their parents aren't taking the time to really, you know, pay attention to what they watch. They just throw them in front of a screen and, you know, letting them watch whatever. And they go back and they share that information with other kids. And so these kids, you know, they get information from their peers just like we get information from our peers. And, you know, we discussed I ain't fucking with y'all tonight, man. And we you know, just like we discuss stuff as each other, and then, you know, and with adults, you know, kids do it the same too, because, you know, those are their peers, that's what they growing up with. And so they get stuff from other little kids, and they're the ones whose parents don't, you know, pay attention to what they're watching or just feel so free. Oh, they're little adults. So because you got these parents now who try to let their kids just do anything like they know what the fuck is good for them as soon as they come out the womb and shit. And that shit kills me. You know what I'm saying? That shit just like you're there to help guide the child how to live, not to just let them absorb any and everything all over the world, and well, let them just decide. They gonna know what the fuck to decide. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna know what the fuck to figure out. They're not gonna know anything. They're gonna be indoctrinated by all this bullshit just because you can't realize there may be underlying themes and all the shit that we watch and do. It doesn't mean, but then they probably might be so heavily indoctrinated they don't even realize that's why they don't see it. But yeah, definitely you got to pay attention to everything, because I told y'all about the one time she was watching a crazy little cartoon. And now, man, tell me why. I want to say it was on Netflix. It was either on Netflix or Amazon. Man, why I seen some shit called fucking like Drag Superhero or some shit like a cartoon superhero drags or some shit like that. And I was like, man, tell me I'm not tripping. And I like, you know how they'll show like a little preview of whatever the cartoon is about to be about. And that shit said, it's like, oh, it's a man. And it was like, no, it's a woman. And then like the little effeminate character comes out, no, those are drag superheroes. And I was like, oh, goddamn.
What?
Netflix. Like, yeah, like it was either Netflix or Amazon. One of them, I put that on everything. But I was telling y'all way back in the day that there was not way back in the day, it was a little while back, maybe about a year or so ago, that it was on Netflix. Super Drags. Yeah, exactly. I thought he was about to watch some car racing or some shit. Super Drags. But but then, you know, it was some cartoon she was watching, and it starts out, it was a little boy, and then for him to turn into a superhero, turn into a woman. And I was just like, we got to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about some things. You know, we got to, and this is why I say you can't just look. And like I say, she got a Netflix account, but it's kids Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't let them have access to everything, because that shit looks like because if you let the kids, you know, she's going to be looking for cartoons. Next thing she'd probably be in there watching Big Mouth or Super Drags or whatever it is, because they not going to know no better because they're kids. It's a cartoon. Oh, it's a bunch of colors. It's bright and it's appealing. And that's why that YouTube thing that was happening for so long was going down with with all the shit because they were cartoon characters or they were dressing up like Elsa and all this other stuff, but they were doing all kind of wild shit. And the parents just, you know, if you look at it briefly, oh, okay, you just watching a little, you watching a Frozen thing, or you watching whatever, you know, it's on the thing. You ain't thinking nothing of it. But then when you see it and you actually play, wait, what the hell? You know, these motherfuckers, from My Little Ponies to, you know, the Frozen, the Disney princesses and all these things. And people are taking and dressing up like them, or taking the toys and having them doing all kind of crazy shit. And you don't even realize, you're thinking, oh, my kid just watching some little stuff. And there's some really underlying adult themes and tones in these little videos that people are making on their own. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta be on top of that shit. And so now anytime she watches them, she's not allowed to watch YouTube. Like that's a no-go. You know, but she can watch Netflix, but it has to be, you know, TVY7 or, you know, under or whatever. And if it's anything else, you know, you have to, you know, let us know what it is you finna watch, and, you know, each episode. And then, like, but what we have started doing is, because, you know, we know that she, what's up, Wise? What's the motherfucking deal? We know that, you know, she's going to start getting affected because it's getting younger and younger, because these parents are just leaving their kids alone with these phones and stuff like that. So we've started taking like some family time on the weekend. Sometimes we'll watch an action movie, or, you know, like some little Marvel stuff. After we had seen Black Panther, I think that was kind of like her first superhero movie, and she liked that. So we started watching like Thor, and we watched the Avengers and some other stuff like that. So she started getting into those. But like, oh man, the other day, man, I had them. I had her, and I think my old lady hadn't seen it. We watched The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy. And man, she liked that. She actually enjoyed that. So we talked about it. So, you know, but the thing about it is helping her understand, you know, kind of more adult themes, but being present with her to talk about it, so that she understands what's going on, that you know what's real and what's fake, because it would be better for her to be around us and have some understanding, as opposed to stumbling across something on her own and not really knowing how to process it, or not really understanding that this is just Hollywood doing some shit, or this is just, you know, this ain't how people act. So like, we'll pick, it ain't gonna be nothing just too outrageous, but it'll be something that may be, you know, maybe PG-13 or something like that. And we'll watch and we'll talk about it. So we'll stop the movie and say, okay, well, do you understand what's going on here? Okay, this is Hollywood stuff, or this isn't the way, you know, people should be treating people, or this isn't, you know. And so we'll stop and we'll break it down and we'll explain things throughout the movie, you know. So she ain't just, because you never know, kids are young, you know, like she's still young, but 9, and you know how they process stuff different, especially in this day and age. So we take a lot of time to help her understand things, as opposed to, because like I say, it's inevitable that you're gonna be around them kids in school, because like I say, we'd already figured out some of the little off the wall conversations they be having, and they don't know what the hell they talking about. So we would rather be proactive and, you know, help her understand, so she's not just hearing some nonsense and not understanding what's going on. You know what I mean? So.
Well, kill me with that, and you bring that up, kids saying stuff at school. My daughter came on to me one day, said, Dad, you know, I forgot how the conversation started, but she was like, I forgot how the conversation started and what I said, but her response to me said, she said, no, Dad, I'm a tomboy. And I looked at her a little bit. I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with being a tomboy, but I looked at her, and I'm like, and I said, where do you get that from? Why you say that? She said, oh, that's just girls that act like boys. I said, who told you that? Oh, my friend at school. I told her, I said, big girl, don't you listen to none of them. I said, big girl, I said, you are what you are, and be happy with who you are. I didn't want to go into detail about a tomboy, because there ain't nothing wrong with being a tomboy, but she's just a kid.
Yeah.
She ain't supposed to be thinking about nothing like that. So when she said that, kind of blew my mind, and that just got me to thinking. I'm like, people are I'm not telling nobody how to raise the kids, whether it's right or wrong, but you just gotta think. It's like when your kids say stuff, because they're gonna do or say what their parents say or do.
Yeah,
that just is, because you don't know, and they're learning. And when she came on, and when we were talking, she said that. Like I said, she wasn't in trouble or anything. I was just shocked that she said it, and I just kind of had to flip the script a little bit. And I just said, you know what? You be happy with who you are. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Just like that. And I was just trying to, Heidi said, what is a rocket? Seriously, Heidi? But I was just like.
Hater.
I was kind of dumbfounded. I didn't even know really what to say it for the moment because I was just like, seriously, wow. But on another thing though, it's like I agree with you. You have to set these boundaries. Like some of the not cartoons. I'm sorry. Some of the movies I watch, like Transformers, one of my is my all time favorite.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't watch it because I know she like the cars and stuff like that. And when they transform to robots, excuse me, something like that, and I get it, but I let her know, hey, they're gonna say some things that you might not understand. So certain parts, like the very first one, is cool to watch, but then the third one or the fourth one, I don't let them watch it all because they go too far into the adult content on that one.
Yeah, because one of them, when he was at college, he was like the Transformer turned into like a woman or something, and then they was I can't remember. I think I only watched the first two. I might have saw the third one. I can't remember. Whichever ones had LaBuffet, I think I saw those. But I think after they took him out, I don't think I saw those.
Yeah, it's a couple of them that had the women in them, but it's just certain ones that like I said, it's just certain things that I do monitor with my daughter. And like for example, too, I don't know if you've seen the movie Angry Birds.
No, I hadn't seen
that. That's not that one. It's Angry Birds, so I took my daughter to go see it in the movies, and I kind of regret it because if they were talking sexual talk. But they didn't say the exact words, of course not. Yeah. But you can put two and two together on things that they were saying and how they were saying it. Yeah. It was like, yeah, I regret this one. And that's another thing with us parents. You live and you learn. You see what I'm saying? So, and I learned, I'm not going to do that again. So, so it's just one of those type of things that, I think we as parents too need to do our research on before we do it. So I made that mistake. So just saying that, sometimes you just gotta be, a little bit smarter in things that you're doing. What would you do if you caught the children? I'm not going to even answer that question, brother. No.
Come down that people's elbow.
My oldest son, he's grown. He do what he want to do, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yeah. But so it's just one of those type of things that you just gotta be cautious yourself and do a little bit of research if you feel like you need to. So, like I said, that was a learning experience for me because I just took it to go, in my mind, go see a cartoon movie. So.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Since the line ain't looking too action right, I'm gonna take the number off here. I'm gonna take these things out of my ear because as soon as I say that, then somebody call, goddamn, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
What's happening, Honcho? This is Mr. Rabbit 19.
Mr. Rabbit, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. How was your Christmas?
It was cool. I was just chilling. I was kind of sad because I beat Red Dead and it was a sad ending. So no, it was all right. Not fucking with you. Well, it was cool. But what you got to drop in the den this evening, Mr. Rabbit?
I want to speak on the topic or the question with the social impact of social media.
Okay. What you got?
Now, I think social media has created a lot of bitches.
Are we talking about bitches in the sense of like bitch ass people or like Instagram bitches?
Bitch ass people, man.
Okay. And so why do you say that?
I always want to. Well, I mean, like y'all said, they talk shit behind like a screen, and probably wouldn't say it like in front of the face that they're talking shit to.
Okay. I mean, do you see this? 'Cause I know you're a younger gentleman. Do you see any signs of this? With some of your school aged associations. I mean, do you see instances of this? I
see a lot of I see a lot of like conversations where like somebody's talking like massive shit, and it's kind of, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into a conversation with this person because it's a waste of my time.
Okay. Well, you have to value yourself and value your time. That is true. Have you ever had an incident that you felt like? But have you? I mean, you say you stay away from those things, but have you ever had an incident that you were involved in that, resulted in some online shit talk or something that may have carried over into reality?
I can't say that I have, but when the time comes that I actually do encounter a cunt who can't shut up, then yeah, maybe.
Cunt. That's a harsh word there. That's see you next Tuesday, as they say. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's a bit. You got anything else you want to spill on that, Mr. Rabbit?
Oh, man up. I hope you had a good Christmas day.
I appreciate it. I hope you had a great Christmas yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate your call there, Mr. Rabbit.
All
right. For a second there, I thought Mr. Rabbit was going to say skirmish. I don't know why. I was just skirmish. I don't know why the word skirmish was in mind. What's the motherfucking deal? I don't know what was going on with that, but to avoid any situations of right copying, there was terrible music. Whatever it was, the music was terrible. So we just hung that up before we even got that started. So if you want to call back whoever that was without the music, that was awful. I don't know what that was.
I don't think you like that crap.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't know. Eyes wide open. That's like all I heard, and it sounded like some other shit going on. I don't know what was going on with that, but yeah. I
want to speak with Mr. Rabbit. I'm sorry, it's funny as hell. But he's right. Social media. I put it like this. He's kind of right. Social media has created a bunch of bitches because, like I said before, back when I was growing up, if I had a problem with someone, I come handle it face to face, and whatever repercussions happen just happens. You know what I'm saying? These days, people can type and say whatever over the phone. Even if you call into a call center, they know 9 times out of 10 you ain't gonna see this person, so they'll say, "Bitch, you better do this. You better fix my phone. You better blah blah blah." Knowing damn well if they see the person in person, they're gonna say, "I got this problem going on here. Can you fix it?" They're gonna say some shit like that instead, which is straight BS to me in my book, because that's all it is these days, and I think that's a lot of problem with today's society. They don't know how to deal with conflict.
Yeah.
They just rather take the easy road. And when they get older, they're going to realize you're going to have no choice but to deal with conflict. That's just what this world really is. You know what I'm saying? You take it with a grain of salt. And you ask him a question, has he ever typed something up and had to deal with someone? I haven't personally, but I've seen people that have. And I've seen them just bitch out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this and that. I'm like, seriously? Can't hang around with you no more. You know what I'm saying? To me, in my eyes, I can't look at you as a man or a woman if you do some crap like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a straight homo to me. If you got the guts to talk shit, have the guts to have it come back to you.
Exactly.
Like I said before, if you're gonna have the guts to do that, leave your name, your phone number, and your address so y'all can settle the situation.
Put an address on it, as the youth say these days. Man, and it's funny because I seen a video the other day, and I tried about, like I said, I've been working on giving these type of videos my attention, cutting that short when I realize I'm watching some nonsense. But they can get you, man. Sometimes you got to snap out of it. But it was a chick. I guess she was talking shit about another chick, and boy, I wish the phone would have stayed stable. But I guess she came over there with her man or whatever. And so old girl opened the door, brought the other chick in, shut the door, and commenced to whooping her motherfucking ass. She locked the bitch, so a man was outside, and so all he hearing is all the banging and rumbling going. She got to whooping her motherfucking ass. I mean, was beating up all over the damn apartment because apparently she, yo, you talking that shit, you was talking all that shit, now you playing hard, you gonna come over here and you bringing your man here and all this stuff. So she whooped her ass, against the phone field, and threw her out the apartment because the man, he started trying to beat the door down or something like that, you know, and then so she threw out the apartment after she was done. So I guess she handled that quite quickly. But again, you know, and people thinking that, you know, that some people I think that they own the same shit as them. Well, I'm just bumping my gums, they just bumping their gums too. But not some of these motherfuckers out here is loco. Some people are how do they say that you say about that life, and you know, they feel they have some type of integrity about themselves. You know, when you saying all this nonsense about them, they gonna want to defend that. And some people just angry and they just mad. They just looking for something to take their shit out on anyway. And then you might be the one. So it is what it is. Yes, I do say that every day. But again, nobody's perfect. I'm working on it. Look, players fuck up, but I'm minimizing it slowly but surely. So what might have been 10 minutes is down to about 3 minutes. So it just takes more and more practice. When I catch myself getting caught up in the shit, sometimes it can, you know, you might not realize how much time you took fooling with the shit.
We all do that, man. We all watch something that later on we like, okay, what the hell was I doing? We all do that. But in the end, though, if you think about it, a lot of these things kind of educate you a little bit, kind of make you look. Sometimes you can see somebody else being a dumbass, and then you realize, damn, I did that shit. How stupid is that? You know what I'm saying? So, and then sometimes they can teach you, okay, I ain't gonna never do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So. It is what it is. And Heidi, I did used to live on Lowndes Avenue in Fifth Ward, but I grew up in Acres Homes off of 45 in West Montgomery and Lil Yard.
Okay. And I'm laughing at why I say I can't talk about the new generation dressing anymore when the Ozzy Brothers was out there looking like they finna pull up to a gay bar. Well, fortunately, I'm in between both of those generations. I'm talking about everybody. So I'm talking about them on this side. I'm talking about the old folks too. Hey, but shit, I seen that picture. I know the picture you talking about. Shit, but fuck them out. One of them motherfuckers, they'll cut your ass. They go pull a knife out of one of them blouses or whatever the fuck they was wearing back then and slice your ass up, babe. But you know, nowadays I don't know. They was suspect back then. I can't knock it. A lot of that shit in the 80s was quite androgynous. You know what I'm saying? It was real weird. Like I said, I felt fortunate to catch it right in a stable generation. The worst thing that was happening in my generation was the fucking clothes were too big. Like I go back and look at some of that shit too. I go back and look at some of that early Texas shit, you know, right around 2000 to 2003, around Yep and My White Tee them days and all that shit too, around the Atlanta shit when niggas was wearing super tall tees and the big fucking shorts, nigga. Shit, niggas just trying to, I guess, you know, niggas look like puffer fish. You know what I'm saying? Trying to look bigger than what they really was. You know what I'm saying? They gonna wear some shit way bigger than what they can fucking. And yes, he is still wearing that shit. That motherfucker Whoop ain't left 98. But you know what I'm saying? But like I say, these motherfuckers, man. And you know what's super funny? I was thinking about it. Okay, Whoop is the one cousin. Now he's got a brother, and for some reason they don't look like Whoop is more light skinned, and then he had another brother who's darker. The brother who's darker looks like old buddy from Get Out. Like I was watching a thing the other day and I just seen him, haven't seen him. I'm like, that looked just like Whoop brother. God, I'm surprised I ain't never thought about that shit. But if I ever see him again, I'm gonna make sure I'm a clowning for that shit. But yeah, you know, so that was my generation's downfall. It was, you know what I'm saying, right when I was younger, it was right around cross colors, cross it over into the, you know, to the tall tees and all that other shit, you know what I'm saying, all the big fucking clothes. So it went from the Black Pride days, that shit fell off quick with the dookie braids and all that shit, and then it shifted over into you know, from the Guess jeans and all that shit into motherfucking me, you know, the big white tees and all that, and cotton shorts, yeah, the ones, and then, you know, for some reason Jordans have always been able to remain a staple, even though half the motherfuckers wearing Jordans now. I ain't even really see that nigga play. So again, you know what it is what it is. But yeah, so I can't talk too much shit. Like you gotta find you had some dookie, you had them dookie braids. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that shit. See, look, y'all, what are the dookie braids? What is he talking? Yeah, that motherfucker. Look, go watch what was it, Poetic Justice? Poetic Justice had them in there. Or what was the other one? Oh, girl had them big ass fucking braids. But again, man. So, like I say, I was in that generation where the shit got too big. Like you know, like I said, I didn't taper off. I ain't with the overly big clothes no more. I ain't with the super tight shit. I'm trying to find a stable balance. You know what I'm saying? With the gold clips.
I'm not trying to have the doctor tell me to wear a bag of shorts. Forget that. I wear clothes that fit. Forget that. Now, I will say this here. My generation, you know, when I was a teen, you know, growing up in high school and stuff, the craziest thing that, you know, that we was doing was sagging. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll never do that crap again.
Yeah, that's sagging shit. But that's what I say. That's something that is carried on. But I don't see how they sagging in the skinny jeans nowadays. That's what I don't understand. Like, how the fuck... And then got a nerve. How you sagging in skinny jeans and committing crimes? Like, who you running from? You finna trip and bust your motherfucking ass. You ain't finna do shit. You might as well just lay down on the ground, man, and put your hands behind your back. Cause you not finna do shit. I remember I was at the corner store the other day. Motherfucker came in there with some fucking sagging. I'm just looking at it. It's like, man, I want to trip the fuck out this nigga. Like, I just want to see how hard this nigga gonna fall, because it's like. I'm just like, damn, like, what is you really, like you decided when you came out the house, because everybody look at the mirror before they come out the house, like, unless you just really just running somewhere and running back. You finna look at you, because the motherfucker felt like he was fly, had to, because I forgot what kind of little shoes, little unit he had on. But so you had to feel like he was fly. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you got on when you fucking leave the house. And for you to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm ready. I'm fresh. I'm looking right. You know what I'm saying? And go out the house looking like that and be confident in your appearance. It's a new generation. That's all I can say, man. It's a new breed out there, because it's some weird shit going on.
You want the one that gets me? Here's one that gets me. Those that are sagging and still have the nerve to put a belt on.
Oh.
That's what.
You know you gotta rock the Gucci belt. You gotta let everybody know you spent a bunch of money on your belt, even though it ain't sitting right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let everybody know you got the Hermes belt. You know, you gotta have a big H on it, or whatever what's the other one? I forgot all that shit. You know, you gotta let everybody know your belt fancy. You know what I'm saying? That's to let people know that you didn't overcome them ass whoopings when you was young. You know what I'm saying? That, like, I done upgraded. You know what I'm saying? I used to get whooped with old, what's that fucking shit? What was them belts? Fucking, I forgot that company used to always make them belts. You done upgraded. Now you living lavish. You know what I'm saying? So the Farragon. That's what I say, man. Niggas be high fashion and niggas be spending. Look, I'm just telling you, if you take the money that niggas be spending, be in the hood, living in the trap. Like, look, why don't you just take this money and invest in your trap and turn this over into a home, nigga, and put that bitch on the market. You go make you some money. Goddamn, motherfuckers be. Oh man, look, don't get me started with the spitted belt buckle. Stop. I remember motherfuckers used to be really feeling themselves, dog, with that off the wall shit. Like, I ain't never been too fly. I might have had my little moments of flyness here and there, but I ain't never been a nigga just tried to be too fucking fly. That ain't my bag. That ain't my deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas be trying to overdo it, and I mean, it's just sometimes you just gotta say no. Just like they say, just say no to drugs. Some niggas need to say, just say no to high fashion, because high fashion will have you really looking out there like you on some shit. You know what I mean? Like, not no good shit. Like, you just on some shit. But you know, it is what it is. People can do what they want to do. Diamond earrings. I ain't tripping on earrings too much. I ain't wear. I got my ears pierced, but I don't ever wear no fucking earrings. So like I said, I think. And my old lady was just like, shit, you got your ears pierced? Because I don't ever wear no fucking earrings. Like, it's been years. I'm sure they still, if I put some earrings, they still, like, the hole's still there. But I have not worn earrings in probably some years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I don't trip too much on the earrings. But, you know, look, niggas be out there with the motherfucking.
Oh, I remember those earrings, Wise. I remember those earrings. Big old earrings sitting down here. And what used to kill me? Women would wear those shit, and I'd be like, ain't your head, your ears hurting? I mean, don't big old loops and stuff. Yeah. I mean, big old bowling ball sitting right here on your. It's like, don't that hurt?
That shit just seems dangerous. You got to fucking with them big hoops. And like you got if you got a head full of weave and some hoops on, you living life real dangerous. I mean, you living on the edge, because it's just you just setting yourself up for all kinds of failure. That just, I mean, it's just something bad gonna take place, and it's gonna be somebody gonna get injured. You or somebody near you gonna get injured fucking with that type of shit. That shit is dangerous. But what niggas used to kill me with was with the cubic zirconias, but gonna try to get the big ass. Like, I ain't knock you if you just putting something in your ear, put your little one in there just to do what you do. Okay, I ain't mad at you. But when niggas try to go get them big ass fucking cubic zirconias, like they really got some diamonds in their ear, knowing them hoes fake as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, just stop. You trying to draw the wrong attention to yourself, man. Just stop it. Just that's not the look. You know what I'm saying? Just what kind of diamonds is them? That's the princess. What kind of diamonds you got in there, man? What's that is, player? You know what I'm saying? Like you setting yourself up for failure. You got them hoes hanging, got your earlobe angling down and shit. That motherfucking shit is too big. You say you knew a female was freaking when she was rocking the big hoop earrings. Shit, look, I'm trying to shoot through the hoop. What you talking about?
I will say this, man. That was a time that we learned we was the dumb as hell doing that shit.
Man,
I did some of those things. I remember the best technology we had growing up with pagers. Yeah. I used to have one sitting outside my pocket on my belt loop, and I would have my shirt up over it so people could see I had a. I used to do that shit, and like I said, that was one of the days. It was just that time that I just learned. You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. You know, I used to do all that crazy shit. I ain't gonna lie about it. Yeah. Shit. I used to snag my jeans, with them big old baggy MC Hammer pants and shit. I used to do that crazy shit too, But, I look at myself back then, I'm like, what the hell? But, that's just part of being a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, I ain't say you said a single feather earring. I ain't never seen them. I ain't never seen a single feather. I don't want to see those either. But that's for like Indians or some shit. That sounds like some shit that ain't cutting it. I remember I used to do that shit in school. We used to wear wristbands like I'm finna play in a game or some shit. Like that's what I'm saying. That was the shit back then. Motherfuckers had the big fucking pants, the big shirts, wearing wristbands and headbands on everything. No kind of athlete. Motherfuckers got wristband down, they got ankle bands on and shit. You ain't for the hooping nobody game. You ain't even get picked up at the fucking basketball court. You try to call out guy next, niggas ignoring you and shit. Niggas trying to have all them goddamn sweatbands on and shit. They was like, boy, I stop. Trying to bring feelers back. Hey, hold on, man. Forever I love Atlanta, man. I ain't never had no feelers because they motherfuckers, every time I try to find a fucking size 15, them hoes was not cutting it. But how they, wait. Because feelers had got brought back like 10 years ago. So they trying to come back again. Like, look, you can't, you get like one comeback. You can't come back and then come back again. That second time, it's time to retire and shit. You know what I'm saying? But God damn, I remember when they brought feelers back, because feelers was a 90s thing. And then, like I say, right around 2000, because I graduated with 03. So, around that time, they was just trying to bring them back again. And then people, they was on them and shit. And then, but they was having a hard time making the comeback. Shit, back then, I think niggas was wearing, what was them hoes called? Saucony's? The Saucony, something like that. I was fucking with them hoes super tough. Them, and then it was some other shit niggas was fucking with super tough back then. You know what I'm saying? But these young bucks now, you got to be in some weird shit these days. I don't even know what it is. But yeah, but that's the thing though. But you got to realize fashion is always a cycle. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. So, don't be surprised when you see niggas bring back the bell bottoms and shit, or with females. I know they brought them shit. That shit was a thing. The females was wearing bell bottoms and shit again, or they call them the flare or some shit. They changed the name up on them a little bit, but it was basically the same shit. Excuse me. So I mean, like I say, it's cyclical. I mean, cause shit, just like how these young niggas now, they wearing flat tops and shit. You know what I'm saying? They brought that shit back. Like that was the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So all this shit, everything is a cycle, man. All these things come back around and eventually become cool again. All it takes is for one celebrity to start doing something, and everybody gonna copy what the fuck they doing and try to make it into something, and somebody gonna try to go over the top with that. You know what I'm talking about? Say jean shorts gonna come back, you gonna be selling them hoes. Yeah, look, you better shit. Ray Pretty gonna bring the Heelys back. Shit, that shit that wild. But here's the deal, babe. We gonna get ready to wrap it up here. Yeah, look, we went back in the nostalgia land, but man, I can't fuck with y'all. I got a motherfucker think about some shit that I done willingly forgot about. And then y'all brought it back up. But, man, first time I ever dunked, I think I had a pair of, it was some K-Swiss on, now that I'm thinking about it. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all, Mr. Man Up. I thank you for joining me this evening. What you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Man, this was funny as hell, man. This one was funny as hell. I appreciate you, Honcho, for having me on once again. I know it's late night, it's almost over, but once again, I want to say happy holidays to you and yours. I know you say you really don't celebrate, but I just have to say it. And happy holidays to all of y'all. Thank y'all for taking time out y'all day. Like Honcho always said, which is the utmost truth. Thank y'all for taking time out your day to come mess with us. And Bro Lee, when am I returning? I don't know. I'll let you know one day. You know, I'll let you know. Can't really give a definitive answer right now. But thank all y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Go Texans. Go Rockets.
Already. And man, make sure I should have put the link in the give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Because Man Up has a channel too called What It Do. And y'all definitely need to check that out. Because let me see if I can do it here. Man Up, you know, he shares some of his opinions on some very interesting topics there. And make sure y'all go show some love and subscribe. Let me see. Here we go, right here. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat real quick for y'all. All right, cool.
Appreciate that.
All right, there you go. There's a link to Man Up's channel, What It Do. So make sure you go and subscribe to that, show some love. And man, like I said, got some very interesting stuff. You need to check that out and listen to it. But with that being said, again, like I say, I appreciate you coming through. Man Up, holding it down. Mixer, we get the Mixer actually probably about 12, 15. I get on the Mixer for a little bit and then talk a little shit. And again, y'all got to remind me because I told y'all I got some stories to share. I don't even remember what y'all stories I'm supposed to be sharing, but I'm sure I can pull a story or two out of the hat for the Mixer action. You know, that's not necessarily YouTube appropriate, but we'll get into that conversation there. We'll see if Shaq Kush is awake, and we'll see what's up with some PUBG or something like that. But with that being said, hey man, it was a good evening. We didn't have to deal with no Kenneth and his tomfoolery tonight, so we're gonna escort y'all out properly. Make sure you check out the Den on all the proper socials, on the gram, the Twitters, you're already here for the tube, and on the Facebook. Make sure you like the Den Show Live Facebook page and join the Facebook group if you fuck with Facebook. I know some of y'all, that's for the grandparents, that's for the old people. Fuck y'all then. We have fun in the Facebook group whenever we actually do post. So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. And again, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. And catch y'all mañana. Then at 10 tomorrow, sauce at 7. We out.